Well, light the Christ candle, and we'll do it that it's just to really get present, to breathe, relax, know why we're here, and to take a moment just to give thanks for being here in this room, in this environment that we create together. And we take a moment just to be aware of that light again, that reminder, the outward symbol of the inner light that we have, that we are, that is always shining, is always present, is always within to guide and illumine our way. So we're grateful for that light in each other and ourselves. So we don't have it in the programme, but Sally, you're happy to play Surely the Presence? We know it pretty much off by heart now, I think, all of us. So Sally will play it through twice. The first time we can join in our humming if we wish to, and then we'll join in with the words. Thank you, Sally. So we will do our opening prayer and invocation, and allow it again the words to affirm the truth for us as who we are. I am now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love and wisdom. I acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom, now erase my mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to thy perfect law. And let's follow that with our centre mission statement. We provide a loving and welcoming environment where we nurture a spiritual way of living. Together with Spirit, we create abundant and healthy lives through prayer, learning, empowerment and joy. We celebrate, bless and appreciate our oneness. And so we are immersed in pure being, for wherever we are, God is, and that's very much the theme of the talk this afternoon. And we are here to nurture a spiritual way of living by nurturing ourselves, a point that Sally made yesterday, and it's such an important one that we have to love and look after ourselves first, and then we can be that energy out in the world for other people.
Today's daily word is I believe. At least that's the affirmation I'm going to ask you to say later. The Gospels poignantly communicate a father's pain and frustration when Jesus reminded him that all things are possible for one who believes. The father's son suffered a serious illness that no one, not even Jesus' disciples, had been able to cure. I believe, help my unbelief, the father cried. his son was healed. My journey of faith may not always be straight and smooth. I may at times reach the limit of my human ability to believe. In these moments I surrender to the divine presence within me. Affirming, I believe, opens my mind and heart to the faith expressed in the life and ministry of Jesus. Through divine presence, the Christ in me, I believe and find the answers to my prayer. Would you like to say with me the affirmation 3 times? I believe. I believe. I believe. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Some of you may be missing the silent meditation. We're going to do that at the end of my talk because I think it's really important to have some silence, and we can take some of the ideas that I've shared and we'll have a quiet time after that. But I thought when I didn't do the burning bowl service here in January, and it's like, and I was up there, sort of joining in as much as I could, it's my favourite theme, let go, let God, and then affirming the truth for all of us. So I still had it in my mind that I wanted to talk about that. So I worked out that I was going to do what I was going to do more or less, and then I opened the Daily Word and it was all about I believe and surrendering into the presence, and it's like, yay! So, I believe, help my unbelief. I think anyone that's got faith in a presence or a power that we call God or universe or allness or isness has times when we believe and times when we don't believe. Because it's very difficult to believe in something that we can't physically connect with our senses. And of course that's what faith does. It calls us to believe in something that we can't technically see or touch or feel or taste. But that energy that we call God, I love the expression ground of being. It's our ground of being. It's where we rest, where we are. This kind of energy that we can't see, that permeates everything, but we kind of see it slowed down into form as we witness it, but actually it's just energy vibrating, and that's that ground of being that we are part of, because everything that we are is that energy vibrating. So taking it back to physics at that level, we are one with that ground of being. We're one with God, with grace. I love to call God love. For me, God is an experience of love, of expansion, of openness. We can call God mind. And it's really important with faith to know that here we're safe. I think that's the primary need for every human being, is to feel safe. Then we can feel loved, and then we can open into more that we are. So with the daily word, I believe, help my unbelief. The belief is there that yes, we are part of something. There's oneness here, there's energy and vibration here. And yet there are so many times when we don't believe. And I'm not excluding myself in this because, everything happens all the time that pulls doubt in. So faith is really a practice. We were talking yesterday about having the discipline of practice. We had our Blue Sky meeting yesterday. And we need a discipline, we need a practice. And faith really it becomes a practice. How can I open to connect with this presence that is love, that knows me unconditionally, that I am part of, and try to see and experience myself as one with all of life around me. Jesus said, your faith has made you well, to the woman at the well. So that was, for him, faith was the first, middle and last of everything, really. Without anything happening, you needed to have faith. Faith was there, but then he went on to say faith the size of a mustard seed. So it's not like we have to have a huge amount of faith and believe absolutely. That comes, that grows, that develops as we practice the journey of faith. So the practice for me that we talk about in Unity, is prayer, is meditation, is stillness. And without it being a daily practice, if it's just here and there, we're bouncing around all over the place in life, responding at the level of life of what's going on, rather than learning to go within. So in Unity, we talk and we practice prayer, meditation and stillness. so that we can find our way through to make that experience real for us. I love the expression in the Bible, I wait upon the Lord. I wait. But the waiting is not a passive, nothing's happening. It's a waiting with anticipation, with expectation, that I am one with this energy, that is limitless, that is everywhere, is exponential. We love Star Trek and, you know, the final frontier and the amazing pictures from the Hubble telescope that you see. That's all of it. That's all. We're one with that. There is no out there and in here that's separate. And it's so kind of expansive and that's the awe-inspiring. And I talk about God as majesty and mystery and opening into that. Prayer and meditation enables us to do that. And we can take into prayer, I believe, help my unbelief. I don't know about you, but my mind goes chatter, 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 chatter. I don't know whether it's because I'm a Gemini, and so my mouth goes chatter, 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 and so my thoughts go chatter, chatter, chatter. But I have a mind that does not want to switch off. I sit down and I get into a nice space, and it's like, and then my mind's gone off. And it's like, okay. And, you know, it can be shopping lists, things to do. You know, I shouldn't be sitting here. I've got all this to do. And also, along with all of that, stress thoughts of tension, of things aren't right, this is wrong, it shouldn't be this way. And then, you know, then the body tenses up, and it's all, the mind everything gets caught up in this tension, this stress. And that's, they say, the biggest curse of today's world. The biggest problem of today's world is stress. And stress really comes out of resistance to what is. It's wrong, it shouldn't be like that. I'm wrong, I should have done this. You know, why did they do that? So with the monkey mind chatter that goes on in here, and the stress thoughts that are going on with things should be different to the way they are, everything gets tight and tense, and I'm restricted and closed down, and I am not waiting upon the Lord. I'm here in my head. So, for me, a technique that works is one that I've actually taken from this guy, Michael Singer. He was in the January-February magazine this time. He wrote a book called The Surrender Process, which I read last year. And he talks very simply, I relax, I release, and I repeat. So as soon as we get into a feeling of tension, whether we're busy out in the world doing things and we suddenly realise I'm in a state of tension or stress or restriction or angry or sad or whatever, as soon as we do that, he teaches to just relax the shoulders. Just bring the attention back to the body, relax. Breathe and release on that out breath. Just release and let it go. And then repeat it. Because practically every moment we're caught up in what's going on in the world rather than what's going on within us. So I would like to invite you to practice this in an exercise. So if you put anything down that you're holding, Steve and his camera, and just take a moment to put your feet, if you can, square on the floor, but just to get a sense that you're feeling supported, that you're feeling grounded, as comfortable as you can in these chairs and where you are at home as well. And take a moment to consciously relax the tension that you're holding in your body. We do it without thinking about it. So maybe in your face, just relaxing the jaw, the cheeks, the forehead. And breathing out, releasing. Becoming aware of your shoulders. Breathing out, releasing. And if there's any tension elsewhere in your body, relaxing that tension. Releasing it. And simply resting and waiting. And notice where the mind goes. How long do we stay in that sense of openness, of receptivity before the mind has gone again. So let's bring it back. And relax and release and let go. If we have any physical pain that we hold in our bodies, we very quickly go to painkillers to suppress the pain. It doesn't get rid of the pain, it just suppresses our system so that we don't feel it. A challenging but effective thing that we can do is to go into the pain consciously when we feel it in our bodies. So if any of you have any discomfort, instead of doing what we do as human beings and ignoring it, suppressing it, move into it. As we bring the light of conscious awareness into the pain in our physical bodies, without thought of judgment, of right or wrong, simply being with that experience, we bring the God light, the healing energy to it. And that healing light and energy releases it, dissolves it. And we can move through it. And one final little exercise for you, with your eyes still closed. Become or allow into your mind, just for a moment, a critical thought, somewhere that you go, or something that you perceive as wrong. Maybe it's out in the world. It can be politics, it can be the environment, it can be a relationship. But somewhere where we hold a critical thought, and take a moment just to allow yourself to recognize whatever it is, that critical thought that's an irritation, that's like a thorn in the finger that irritates, that takes our attention. And as you become aware of that critical thought, when we stay in that critical thought long enough, our body tenses up. And we go back into stress, back into tension. Critical thoughts create a stressful mind, creating a stressful body. So the invitation is to take your awareness now from that critical thought, from that situation, back to the body, back to the shoulders, consciously relaxing and bringing that energy of lightness and love and awareness to the body. Relaxing the shoulders, letting them drop down. Breathing and releasing and letting go. And feeling back into that energy of peace. Of loving awareness, where we can simply be. Okay, so thank you. You can open your eyes. And that physical exercise, Sally, you're very good with physical exercises to help shift the energy. And I find that when I get stuck, if I go and do something else, it shifts the energy and I'm out of whatever's going on in my mind and my body. But this very simple exercise, as soon as I start to feel that I'm caught up in something and I'm tense about something, and it's not like I'm tense and, oh, this is what I do. It's like 5 minutes later, half an hour later, it's like, oh, I'm doing it again. And, it's just repeating. But just, I literally go, oh, and my shoulders go back. I relax and release. And it's taken my thinking away from what's going on back into the body, back into being aware of here and now. And I find it's really effective. I've started to tell people on the prayer line just to use it as a relaxation, because so many ring because they're stressed. They're worried. Life is not happening the way they want it to go for themselves or another. And we get stuck in our heads about a situation. And it takes us out of our heads and back into our bodies. And the other thing we do with prayer, of course, is I think prayer primarily is a letting go. Because I think as we let go, we make space for God. Then we're allowing that energy to flow through us. Like where we started, that ground of being, that energy that we are one with is here all the time. It's grace, it's love, it's vitality, joy, all those wonderful things, we can experience it. So prayer helps us as we let go, experience that wonderful energy. But what we do when we let go is take it back. And I had this vision of, because we bring the prayer box and we invite people to put names in the prayer box, and they fill out the slip of paper and fold it up and put it in, and it's like, oh, I can let it go, God's got it. And at that very simple level, we've made space for the greater power to work through us. But then I had the vision of someone sneakily looking and tiptoeing back to the box, and opening the lid and taking out the slip of paper and bringing it back. And oh God, I'm not ready to give it to you yet. I'm going to keep it and I'm going to worry about it some more, because this is what we do. We give it to God and then we bring it back. So my invitation is that when you recognise that's what you're doing, you've given it to God, but then I'm still going to worry about this. This is just, no, it's not right. And my worrying is going to sort this out. Well, of course, it never does. We're stuck up here again. And it's like, okay, Kimberly, breathe, relax, release and let go. And that's why he says, relax, release, repeat. Because we're forever bringing it back. We give it away and we bring it back all the time. Well, yes, and it is practice, but it works, and that's the thing. And once we realise it works, then we've got that motivation to keep doing it. And we need motivation. We need, almost it's like we have to be really stressed and really upset and things are drastic before it's like, hang on a minute, I can do this differently, rather than as soon as we start to get tense, immediately relaxing and letting go. So it all comes back to this, I believe, help my unbelief. When we get into that, I don't believe, I need to worry about it. Relax and release and repeat. There's 2 quotes from Revealing Word that I found. I looked up Faith in here, and he's got loads of quotes of Faith, Charles Fillmore. But these 2 I like, so I'm just going to read you these 2. Faith is more than mere belief. It is the very substance of that which is believed. And that substance is that life energy, is God awareness. And it works by love. Thoughts of condemnation, enmity and resistance must be released and divine love declared. Then faith will work unhindered. Well, I find just saying love is not enough for me. I need to feel into it. And I can only feel into it when I've let go of the stuff that's in the way of it. And Charles Fillmore also says, faith is built up through denial of all doubt and fear and continuous affirmations of loyalty to the divine idea, the higher self. And they called that denial and affirmation. And for me, the denial is just, as you know, is release, relax, let go. And it's just and it's becoming a mantra for me now. I've got into that position now where it's like, oh, release, relax, let go. So this whole practice is to enable us to know that God is the ground of our being. There is no separation. There is only oneness. It's like seeing, instead of seeing through a porthole in the side of the ship, and I'm here this side, and life is out there, it's that porthole goes. And there is the separation dissolves, and all of a sudden I'm out there, I'm with it, I'm one with it. But that porthole is our pain, our grief, our resistance, our anger, our fear, our doubt, all that focused thought and feeling that gets in the way. But we don't have to work to do anything other than just relax and release and let it go. So I encourage you, I invite you to try it. I've been telling my people on the prayer line and they go, oh, I love that because it's simple. We can remember it's the 3 R's, relax, release, repeat. But know that as you do this, you are allowing grace, you are allowing love, mind, divine ideas to arise within you. It's that energy that is our energy that guides us and directs us. And it's that energy working through us that will create the changes that we wish to seek around us. So really that's my message. And when you feel into, I believe, help my unbelief, I'm there again, I've taken the prayer back from the prayer box and I'm worrying about it. Relax, release, repeat. So that's my little sharing for today. What I have for you now is a little meditation to do this. Now this I've actually taken from this book, The Way of Grace, by Miranda McPherson, and she's very much about, she calls it ego relaxation. Relaxing the mind, the personality, the self-identity, to awaken into that experience of something more than we are. So at home, in your rooms where you're sitting, and here in our room, I invite you to get as comfortable once more as you can, putting anything down that you're holding. And know that as we do this together, we're safe. We're in this environment that is ready, receptive, holding us. And I invite you once more to relax your shoulders, to breathe and release and let go. And allow your focus to go gently inward, perhaps to your heart center, perhaps to your core, wherever you feel you can go that's calm, that's centered, where there's peace. And become aware of the natural rise and fall of your breath. And as you breathe in, consider every inhale to be a welcome to life. That you are receiving the molecules of oxygen as an unconditional gift of life. Feel this oxygen welcoming you, inviting you to just be present. And then consider every exhale as an invitation to let something melt. Without forcing anything, see what can melt. Perhaps there's subtle tension still in your body, perhaps around the eyes or the lips. As you inhale life, exhale and let that melt. Perhaps your mind is going into things to do, conversations that have been had, the shopping list for when we leave here. Allow all of that to melt and dissolve as you exhale. in this moment, what if you could just be nothing, do nothing, get nothing, become nothing, seek for nothing, relinquish nothing? We'll go into some silent time, which we will end with a Karen Drucker song. But let's go into the silence knowing that right now you rest in God, that you are letting go into the ocean of infinite grace. Right now, just rest. Just be. And if you find your mind wandering, just gently bring your awareness back to breathing in the welcoming gift of life, of oxygen, into your body, and releasing and melting and surrendering into God. The invitation is to be nothing, do nothing, get nothing, become nothing, seek for nothing, relinquish nothing, rest in God. And so know that today you've given yourself a huge gift, the gift of grace, the gift of unconditional love, the gift of receiving, simply being. Here we truly can know, I believe. And so feeling your bodies once more and your feet on the floor, gently coming out of that deep peace.
And our closing prayer in the programme again. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And we will close as usual with the peace song. It's all about.